as their third pick.
It's interesting because actually, if you kind of think back, like Chinese teams don't really like Earthshaker except like Lan M, who's like a complete boss. FY as well. You're right. But these teams, they just do not care about it. And I think it's always good, right? Long range stun, the initiation, burst damage, and if you want to play fast, that's always good.
Now, one of the offlaners that we see old Lebanon sometimes are still in, but are we thinking Doom is going to already be that hero for 11, or are we going to rotate him?
I think it's still pretty open. I think you're going to pick it here. We're going to know after this third pick. Okay. But I think it is still open.
Because when we were talking about tempo, we always come back to the 3 and 4, which are the players that go for the tempo control.
The interchangeable, they like to do that, yeah.
Does Doom set a high tempo? No, not really.
It depends. It's situational. Like, it kind of is more about how you want to play around it and what VICI likes to go. The Naga ban leads me to believe they might be thinking Drow. Alternatively, just some other hero, High Illusions. It feels like it could be a Drow game. You already have nice setup.
Yeah. It was banned in the last phase last time. I don't know, I still think you need another stun. VICI Gaming, we talked about, you need that point-click stun. And they don't, I mean, you have the Rasta, but Rasta's just going to get coconutted on the head every time or Infernal Bladed. You need someone else. I like Earthshaker for VICI, but I don't know if they'll pick him.
I think you take the support, but I'd imagine based on the amount of time they've taken thus far, it'll be a core. And I think on the turn as second pick, you're more likely to do so just because it's more valuable in that ban pick follow-up.
Yep. And possibly just pick a hero you think Keen Gaming might take.
The Grimstroke, first one of the series, an instant Drow pickup as well.
It is great against the Razor. As long as you can avoid the link, you're always going to deal more damage throughout the engagements, and Razor doesn't team fight very well. You can get on. You have to be on top of Drow, and that's just tough to do, especially if you've got a Witch Doctor in the way.
The entire day. Why is that?
Well, we haven't seen Doom till today, or this series, right? Have we seen Doom?
I don't believe so.
But is that the only reason why you would pick up a Grimstroke, or why you would counter the Grimstroke?
No, this Grimstroke, you can be super active. Like, we watched a Grimstroke a couple days ago, and he went the 203 build, and he was actually just running around with, like, 3 of his melee cores, just getting on top of people. Obviously, this game, it's a lot different, because you're with 2 ranged heroes, and I guess they like the double hex. Double lightning is insane burst damage.
You also do the double drain.
Double link?
Yeah.
Does that work?
That's what I mean. Drain link.
Great.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
I also, man, I just like Grimstroke, and it's one of DY's favorite heroes too. He loves playing that.
It's one of the more active position 5 heroes as well. You can do a lot with a little. Whatever happened to people buying Athoses all the time?
They still do. I mean, Underlord had an Athos last game.
But
not as many as we saw a month ago.
I'm curious as well, actually, that thought, and I guess, because you always have, like, Brown Boots Athos, right? There's, like, no build-up. I think you just, if you don't get, like, 2 or 3 early kills with that Athos, it's kind of just a dead item, because all of a sudden these people have Hurricane Pikes, they have BKBs, and you're like, well, I have this Athos Brown Boots.
Is this a Storm game for Keen? I think you just need some reach, yeah? Whenever I see 2 ranged, squishy supports, regardless of how much lockdown they are, I think high reach is hype. I think a Spirit for sure. Embers, Storm, or Earth is fine with me.
I'd still find it very risky against the Shaman.
I agree. I know what you're saying, Kyle, but it just, and the Centaur, the Shaman, like, you have just so much initiation on them.
And you know VICI is going to set that tempo high, so if Storm gets ahead and stomps the mid lane, that's fine, but I don't think you can really bank on that.
I would like Ember a bit more if it was one of the Spirits.
You have Drow, though.
You do. I mean, we saw Drow with a Drow played by herself with 2 melee cores before, so it's been done.
Whoa!
Oh, okay. We didn't talk about that, young lass.
I know we haven't talked about that because we haven't seen this ginger in the whole tournament.
Yeah, that's a Razor counter in the mid lane and throughout the game, but the change to Drow, now giving attack speed instead of damage, makes the Wind Ranger pick a bit more questionable in my eyes because you get your ult off, it sets you to max attack speed. Drow actually doesn't do anything for a Wind Ranger when you're attempting to kill that target. And yeah, it's a good matchup, but I think Wind Ranger's even worse against High Disabled than Storm, especially the amount of magic damage she's got. You need an Ags and a Blink and a Maelstrom ideally, and a BKB before you can really play Dota 2. And it just doesn't It's similar to QoP. It's got to run over the game, or it won't win.
Or it just won't do anything, yeah.
Yep.
But you are saying you are expecting this Wind Ranger as a mid,
I think it's built. It's primarily to counter the Razor in the lane matchup.
not a 4.
It's a good point, Sheeves. That's very possible.
Because
As a
I play a lot of Wind Ranger, and I know
really?
that, like, definitely not at the same level. But you kind of, with levels alone, you already can make a lot happen, and normally, like, you don't need that many items to be a success. So,
You don't think? In a game like this versus a
Just 'cause
Centaur lockdown?
Sheever, what she's saying is she wins a lot of games, and because it's Sheeves, she very rarely has any items.
See, I would think that's Flame, but that is actually very accurate as well. It depends why you pick her, I guess, as well. What asset is her most valuable one?
They banned the OD.
They banned the OD, so they are expecting that Wind Ranger to be a position 4, or at least not a mid hero, because they ban out the mid. Let's see what Keen removes out of the pool.
I think you wouldn't be afraid of it as a mid. So
No.
there's no reason, even if it's already selected, there's no ban more appropriate. OD with Drow is insane. Even Link isn't super effective because the orb does pure damage based on int, not damage. Plus having a hard save is excellent against heroes like Centaur, specifically this high lockdown. You can just counter initiate, combo break, and spin it back. Morph ban. I think you core the Doom. I think the Wind Ranger 4 makes sense, but what mid hero?
The problem is now you're picking mid, and VICI Gaming could obviously just Razor on a side lane and just completely counter your hero, so it'd have to be like one of those DKs or Embers if you really wanted.
VICI have tower pressure, thanks to the Rasta. I feel like maybe Ember Spirit would be good for them. Just any sort of catch. I think they just need reach. If they can get onto the backline, look at the last 3 heroes Keen selected. You know, what do they do if there's suddenly a
Rail.
remnant forwards into a double chains?
Hey,
Oh, goodness.
That seems like a very squishy lineup.
Oh, it's so squishy.
But you talked about, like, Keen wins this, like, they pretty much win versus VICI if they play super high tempo, and I think this is going to be one of those games where you're looking at the 10 minute at the end of the laning phase, and you're like, if you're not 2 to 3k up minimum on Keen, you're like, uh-oh.
So the thing that we've said is VICI's greatest asset is their tempo, and you're saying that Keen is going to try to outpace VICI Gaming in this one.
Yes, I think they have to, especially with the sniper pick now. Sniper versus Drow, not the worst matchup. You always just outrange her. Like, instead of just getting on top of her, just shoot farther away from her.
Yeah, it's also really good against Puck, believe it or not, because Puck's damage output's somewhat limited. Sniper's going to play the back line, so it's not as if Coil helps you catch much in the mid to late game. It'd be just you.
Is this a Dagon first Puck game?
It could be.
It might be, yeah.
I just think VICI's team fight's too strong. Double Assassinate now, thanks to the Grimstroke as well.
The Centaur makes everyone, like, Centaur plus Razor, you're getting that link off, and you're going to get a ton of damage no matter what, because you'll always be able to stay on top. I think VICI Gaming, I think this draft is a little bit closer, but Keen has to play immaculately for the first 10 minutes, or we're going to see a little Liquid versus Pain-esque game, I think.
Well, I hope that's not the case for Keen Gaming.
Me too, but I
And for us,
actually...
and for you as well.
I gotta lean VICI anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think like 75-25. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's going to be this Wind Ranger. I want to see what she can do, because I honestly just don't watch her that much. I just want to see...
Nobody does.
She get own. Yeah,
She
exactly.
doesn't get played.
It's
I'm
the
curious.
Puck. The Puck's gotta go off, let's be real.
Okay.
You need a flawless Puck game. If he dies more than twice, I think VICI take it for sure.
A speedy, flawless game needs to happen from Keen Gaming. That's what you guys are saying. I think that is a big ask, but they're here on the main stage, and this is their last chance to do it, because if they lose this one, they are eliminated. Let's find out if they can push to that third game with our commentary team of Odie Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, VICI Gaming versus Keen Gaming. Game 2 just about ready to go. We saw VICI take game 1. Game 2, bit of a different approach here from Keen. This Drow strat comes in. Old 11 playing something very different. The off-lane Wind Ranger is going to be the one for him this time around.
Yeah, I am just very intrigued and very excited to watch it, because I have not seen Wind Ranger in a pro match in quite a long time. I think this Puck pick is probably like one of the few things that could round stuff together. They needed some team fight, so let's see how it goes.
Let's get ourselves into the action and find out.
VICI Gaming contre Keen Gaming. Game 2.
So let's see indeed if this Drow lineup works. As the panel says, pretty squishy. A lot of it's going to be reliant on that Doom to be on the front. It's going to be a little harder to sort of do so though, as it isn't that core Doom. It is that position 4 Kaka Doom that's going to be moving around the map. So let's have a look. VICI Gaming themselves, some strong picks once again. The Ori Sniper, lots of ways to keep him safe, a lot of control from their heroes. Yang as well, that Centaur Stampede's always going to be there to make sure that Ori can reposition successfully. So Keen Gaming, they have to dominate the lanes.
They have to, I mean, they absolutely need to have a really, really good start in this game. I think just like Kyle was saying, Puck needs to go off because their team fight's pretty limited. Their team fight is really relying on Yi having a good start, because otherwise you look at their 4 heroes and it's like they don't team fight well at all. You look at VICI's and they team fight very well. I think this Centaur pick was super good. I think whenever you can Drow, it's nice because everybody can collapse on top of her, and in the, sometimes Razor versus Drow is not the best, but now it completely changes it, because now you're always going to be able to keep that link and get on top of the Drow, or almost always.
So, I mean, why do you think that Keen did settle on putting all 11 on that Wind Ranger? Like, what does this hero do? Obviously, there's reasons why this hero is not incredibly popular, but what can it do that works out nicely for Keen?
Well, the thing is, they see the Razor, right? They see the Razor, and they also see Shadow Shaman, so this at least is able to benefit off of that Drow aura. They can kill the Serpent Wards easily from a distance. You don't really benefit too much from that precision aura, just like Kyle was saying too. Like, in the past, sure, but your focus fire gives you that 450 attack speed already when you use it. But I think just being able to bully and never really worrying about linking, like, you're never going to get linked as a Wind Ranger. You're always going to be able to wind run and kind of run away, provide you some more disable. It's a hero that's really unexplored, so not too sure, and we'll see what Old 11 can do with it.
Let's have a look. We'll see what the lanes settle down to be. It's going to be Yang and Fade starting up top, up against this safe lane of Dark and the Old Chicken.
They get themselves a pretty good lane too, because now the Wind Ranger is versus that Razor, so immediately you see Razor gets the 8 damage stolen anyway, but
yeah, it's unlikely to ever be much more than that.
Yeah.
And the mid lane, Sniper versus Puck, a matchup where Ori should have a pretty good start in the lane this time around, would you say? As obviously last game, Ori did sort of lose out on the 1v1 for the first 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot based on like headshot procs and stuff inside that lane matchup, because Puck does have a high base damage advantage in this one, and you have high burst and ways to get on top of the Sniper, so it can be a little bit scary for that Sniper, but it should be, for the most part, a bit of a trade farm depending on how much the harassment comes out. It's the proc chance, right? Do you get a lot of headshot procs, or you're going to get a better harassment out of the Sniper?
And in terms of the supports, is there the chance that we'll see that mid lane get ganked very early on, or
top first though?
Yeah,
they hit level 2 immediately.
Yang's on in with the Who Stomp. There's that Vita Restoration ticking and keeping Old Chicken healed, but it's not enough. The blast comes in with the Ether Shock, and First Blood goes the way of Fade.
I think for the most part we're going to see static lanes. We might see Keen maybe make a rotation toward mid, but I don't think VICI's going to want to change their lanes at all. Maybe if Fade sees some like crazy opportunity where he can, but unlikely. I think this top matchup is excellent for them. He's going to be able to give Yang a great start in this game, and another double stun comes out, but just for some last hits. They did not hesitate at all in that top matchup, though. They hit level 2 and it was an instant go. We've seen that a lot now from teams. Whoever hits level 2 first, you make the aggressive stance and claim that dominance in the lane.
I mean, yeah, they're crushing it up top. 12 for 5 on Yang. Old Chicken, only 6 CS at the moment. Bottom. Get the Jackal, they're looking for DY. They'll be able to slam him down. Keen Gaming will finish off the kill.
Ooh.
Apparatzi unable to do enough to push them back and off the support as DY.
And interesting too, sure they blocked the hard camp this time, but this creep actually might be a bit of a difference maker down bottom. There's an Alpha Wolf Eaten. So with that increased attack speed for the Wind Ranger, it's quite a significant amount of damage between these two. See 54 plus 16 already up on Old 11 with that increased attack speed too. So not something you see too often. Sure, it's a creep that's still very highly valued, but not in the laning phase. It's usually one of those later creeps that you get on.
And DY, it's got to be careful. Trading hits is never going to be nice with these two.
No, definitely not.
And the same situation as sort of top because of that. Down bottom, Razor, farm isn't too great. Sure, he's getting a few denies in there, but the last hits aren't rolling in. The mid lane matchup, 15 for 2 against 13 for 3, staying very even at the moment between Ori and Yi.
Yep, just a bit of that harassment coming out. I mean, Ori's been getting a lot of headshot procs actually on Yi. Saw like 3 or 4 before when he stepped up. So he's actually going to have to bring out some more regen. Actually, the bottle is finished, at least for Yi.
Okay, we'll be able to make sure that that pull doesn't continue to be being made up top. Making sure that VICI Gaming can hold that lane in a good position.
scary lane for Keen whenever they do step up versus the Centaur and the Shadow Shaman. It's very unlikely that you're gonna get a kill in this whenever you're in a Drow lane. Like Drow does not really threaten too many kills until you get those levels out, so top Keen does have to be a bit afraid whenever they do step up too far. If anyone gets caught by Disable, they're likely to die.
They just making it pretty much impossible for Dark to get any sort of pull going bottom lane.
There's a stack there though already, triple stack on that hard camp up top.
Not something that Keen can really clean out anytime soon though, with their heroes.
We might see some more rotations around those like 2-minute marks now, since Ori has identified.
I mean, now Dark will be able to juke him. Heads down. He has got a TP. He's going to go for the best bet and just continue to run away. That will manage to get himself out. Begin to get more pressure onto that tier 1 tower. Keen is unlikely that Keen's going to send much up it to hold back.
Yeah.
Bottom.
Paparazzi getting pressured though.
He is going to try and go for the link, but he's very low. He'll fall same time up top. Yang will get the kill. On to Dark, but Paparazzi going down. As well as this top lane is going for VICI Gaming, Keen are definitely making some magic happen down bottom.
For sure. But their other 2 lanes not going that great. I mean, Ori's doing, it's pretty even in the mid matchup, but yeah, this Centaur is going to be such a big problem. He's going to have a Vanguard and Phase Boots so early in this game, and I'm already, like, the damage issues can definitely be there for Keen. The Drow, sure, you can still pump out that damage, but you need those levels, and she is getting slowed down so much from all this.
See Dark as well, he's just trying to get something out of this, get some sort of XP, soaking up the waves.
It's only level 4, though. I mean, level 4 is pretty decent, but the two heroes up here are both level 5. They're going to claim this tower.
Just try for the deny, won't get it. That's VICI Gaming, get the hit on the tower with the creeps.
Now with the tower dead top, you can start making invasion plays. So we do see the wards already prepped out from Keen to try to defend versus, so Fade.
Oh, he does sort of just walk in, has the Hex to stop some of the damage, but now he's out of it. Old Chicken will turn, and with Maledict on Fade, Fade will go.
Yeah, they know that's going to be warded now for sure. That's a good ward though by Keen to defend the Drow.
Oh, on 11. Sniping down DY with the power shot. I mean, every time the DY and Paparazzi try and leap forward for a play with the static link, Keen Gaming is just turning it around at this bottom. They have to be careful with this Razor and Grimstroke, because it seems this combination, when they're sort of falling behind, they can't kill these 2 heroes. These 2 heroes will just turn and burst down DY every time. He's incredibly squishy.
Yeah, I mean, this Alpha Wolf is really making such a big difference. It's really interesting to see. And the Wind Ranger is doing pretty decent in the lane. 2-0-2, 24 last hits, but now Fade.
Yeah, there's the catch out. Fade catching Old 11 by surprise. Will set up for a bit of vengeance from VICI Gaming, as they will finally kill off Old 11 in that lane. They've been having a pretty good time so far in terms of harassing the Razor.
I mean, Fade had an insane game last game, and right now he's already going to be getting close to level 6 on Shadow Shaman pre-10 minutes. And no slowdown whatsoever. Goes bottom, gets a kill, smokes, looks for another. Kaka just outside of breaking that smoke range.
See if they can find two heroes at the moment around mid. There is Dark by the side of Yi. And that will dispel the smoke. They'll look towards Dark, as they will try and get an easy kill. Assassinate in. Kill goes the way of Ori as well. He'll be happy with that one. Now, Keen Gaming, see if they can get something in return. They have got the 6 on 11. So with that focus fire, they'll kill off DY. I mean, DY continuing to die time and time again on this Grimstroke.
Yep. And that's the 4th one, right, for him? So he's going to be the hard 6th roll this game, as we'll see Fade take a lot more to that farm on the Shadow Shaman. Already level 6, so Serpent Ward's pre-10 minutes. They can definitely look for a tower push. They have seen it, though. The Ward did spot the Shadow Shaman bottom, hitting level 6. And Yang does have the Vanguard finished, and he also, if he wants to, he has a quad stack in the camp right next to him.
It's still there, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a full 4 stack right now. And Old Chicken would love to be able to farm that, as he is doing a triple stack. Or is that a quad stack? Quad stack right now.
Yeah, he's got some
another one.
Good stacks to clean up too. Bottom lane, Keen Gaming bringing in extra numbers. In fact, a 4th hero as well. If they want to get the pressure on, take this tier 1 tower. Fade and Paparazzi have to be careful.
Haste rune on the puck too. This is their time to shine. They need to start making plays with this puck.
See, charging in. They'll get their eyes onto Paparazzi. Hex will be out, as well as the Serpent Wars drop down onto 11. The Dream Coil from Yi holds the 2 of them down. Static Link as well, onto 11, taking a lot of damage from the Serpent Wards, but will get himself away as 11 will salve up. They have lost Dark on the Witch Doctor as the fight kicks around the rune spawns. VICI Gamer will grab the bottom one. They'll be able to head over and get the other one too. These two at least away from Keen Gaming. Old Chicken is able to pick up the ones up top though.
And they have a haste rune. They just drop Serpent Wards, and they actually can't go for a dive play, even with the full rotation coming out. VICI was very prepared for that. They've put all 4 wards of their first ops wards down bottom, just emphasizing they want to try to control their tier 1 tower in these first 10 minutes, just identifying that early game.
Kaka, Infernal Blade, power shot from Olem will do him with the focus fire as well under Paparazzi. They can look for both of them. Keen Gaming, Old 11, and Kaka, this lane together, it's worked out absolutely beautifully. It really has.
Yeah, I mean, Kaka's super farm too. He's above the Drow Ranger in farm.
304 on the Doom, 314 on the Wind Ranger. This lane duo showing a lot of potential and something that we don't see any of the other teams do.
Yep. Yang, in the meanwhile, will clear that quad camp that was up top, though, on that Centaur. So, full Vanguard, and he's almost got a Crimson Guard on top, too. So, he will be very strong, and that's the kind of sacrifice he took instead of showing up to fight bottom. And bottom tower is cleaned up by Old 11.
More money for him. On top of that Javelin, he's going to get that first sort of damage item out very quickly. Any sort of control plus a focus fire will kill pretty much everyone apart from the Centaur at the moment. I mean, even the Centaur with a +1. It's a lot of damage from this Wind Ranger.
He has to be very careful to almost never focus fire Centaur in the game. He will kill himself. I've seen that way too many times. So it does have to worry about, watch out for that until later stages, or unless he's next to the Vlads maybe of the Doom, which I think Kaka does have. That could maybe be a little bit extra sustained, but anybody else, for sure, that focus fire will kill them.
12 minutes in, only a 1k lead for VICI Gaming, definitely looking a lot better for Keen this time round in comparison to game 1.
Yeah.
They've got something good going.
And Old Chicken has been able to give him time to recover. That's the big thing too. He was level 4, he had to go to jungle. He's almost level 9 now, and he's got a triple stacked Ancients for himself too. So this Drow Ranger is going to be completely caught back up in the game after cleaning this out. So VICI, they have to start doing something, but DY down bottom again.
It's going to be another casualty, surely. He's trying his best to juke through the trees, and with the TP out, will he make it? One more touch will do it. Old Lemon's got it. He's in, takes the kill. Maelstrom complete, 12 minutes in on this Wind Ranger.
Look at this again. Keen, no hesitation. They see Paparazzi, and they just keep wanting to shut down this Razor.
See if they can get the jump on him. Playing it safe, yeah. He's keeping himself in that side shop, and he's out with the TP.
That's like the wave you never. That's like the risky wave right there. You see that one all the way by the small camp. You just don't want to push so far up there.
Old Chicken. Mid. There's the Stampede closing the gap. Instant a Hex. Serpent Wars down. Fade picks up the kill. They're already getting the final touch. Wars down in position to help clean up the tower as well. These are the sort of plays that you've got to be careful of. I mean, Old Chicken, for the most part, he's been stuck in the jungle, comes out, and there's no hesitation. VICI Gaming Stampede, and he's gone.
It's always going to be a hard game versus a Centaur when you're Drow Ranger at this type of start. You're just going to get ran at constantly, but at least you're amping up your teammates, and once you get your levels built out, will be able to deal decent amount of damage as long as you have frontliners, which is still the concern for me for Keen. Their front line is still pretty weak if they do just get ran at by VICI, and VICI's front line has a Crimson Guard, so he can definitely just look to pierce through. But old 11, this Wind Ranger, 4-1-4.
He's making it work so far. It's just they have to keep finding themselves making plays where they're not 5v5. As you say, it's all about pickoffs for Keen Gaming, splitting up the map, getting these solo kill potentials, which this Wind Ranger has a huge amount of with the Phase, Maelstrom, Blightstone.
Yeah, definitely, and these could be the big kills. I mean, down bottom, they have information of this. They saw Yang farming this.
And keep this pace up, find these pickoffs, see if they can get Yang. Yang silenced up, Doom's dropped down. Yang, there is no help for him. As Yang will fall, can they get another? Dream Core's there onto Paparazzi. He's quite deep underneath the tier 2 tower. So Keen Gaming will have to back up. TP's now coming in from VICI Gaming. Can VICI Gaming get a catch in response? Doesn't look like they can. Keen Gaming they're a pretty speedy bunch. They can get in, get out with the Scorched Earth, with the Wind Run, a lot of ways to back away once VICI Gaming responds.
They're playing their draft as they should, though. They're playing it very fast-paced, high tempo to not let VICI get any breathing room with this Drow Ranger, but now Kaka may have held his ground a little bit too long farming that jungle and will get punished. He stayed way too far in. The rest of his team was already starting to back away. I guess maybe they were trying to secure some of those bounties, but he gets punished for it.
And for VICI Gaming, what sort of is the next big item pickup, would you say, that's going to allow them to then start playing, pushing away that Keen Gaming can't really deal with? Dark picked off down bottom.
I think they can look to just start taking fights whenever.
Like
they've got Aether Lens on Shadow Shaman. The catch is definitely going to be there. They don't have the blink on Centaur, but with this Crimson Guard, they're so
They can
strong.
just run in, and as you say, with that cast rate, they get the Hex. Who's going to be attempted, but the Waning Wrist Silence is there, slowing down the aggression, but the Shackles out onto the puck, catch him out. Old 11 trying to turn here with Kaka. The stuns out onto Kaka. Kaka cannot escape. They'll look towards Yang. Crimson Guard held him in out a little bit. He's walked back in. He got hexed again. He gets hexed up. Fade was ready. As 11 dies, there'll be a buyback from Yi for this. See if he can actually catch anyone. He does have a Dream Coil.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. Focus firing the Centaur. It can really just kill you when you just hit that Retaliate over and over again, and Old 11 actually mostly dies to that. Very painful, and that's what we're talking about, right? Like VICI, they are ready to just fight. They've got Crimson Guard on Centaur. This guy has no fear at the moment. And
we'll see this attempt again. As it started, this wraparound from Yang, instantly moving in with the Stampede, and these Hexes just sort of forcing the fight very early on. Fade with so much control on this Shaman. We see it being the reason they get that first kill. He's also the reason that they just make sure that Old 11 can't get in and get out.
oh, look at this focus fire, though. Look at 11's health. Oh, no.
Oh.
We knew it was going to happen at least once in this one. As they will also lose... They lost Yi again in the mid lane. A quick rotation coming out from VICI. They just catch him with the Aether Lens.
There's this combo Fade just setting up from such a far range.
What did Kyle said, what, 2 deaths on the puck, right? That's the second death, and he's not, and look at where his net worth is. It's been completely stagnated in this game, and VICI's claiming it complete control. Just looking harder and harder now for Keen just to take, because they can't take the fights. The 5-man fights
they really
are
can't.
so difficult.
They don't have the reach that Fade does, and they're also squishy. You get hexed, you're gonna die.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dark, oh, looking into one another here. D-White.
They
The
get licked.
Soulbind out. They've got the 2-man control. Fade just loving life there with the Soulbind Shackles combination. As they'll surely get both Stampede used to help chase down Kaka. The Doom is dead. And Old 11, what's he doing?
Oh,
He's trying
he was going for Ori in the back.
That was not the play. Just running in, hands off the keyboard, going in with the focus fire after you've lost 2-3 heroes. I mean, there's 4 dead currently on Keen Gaming. Very disjointed play, and that will get punished by VICI Gaming's 4-man, 5-man pushes.
And they've got wards up still, too. So that 6K gold lead will go up to that 7K very quickly, and what a series of events in the last few moments. Puck now finally has the Blink Dagger out, but that's not where you want to be on a Puck in this game. You want to be involved in like 6, 7, 8 kills or something this early on, but only 1, 2, and 2 on the Puck right now in this game, just been completely stopped and halted by VICI.
Keen Gaming have just tried something a little different. It's have flashy elements in the lanes with that bottom lane going well, but when it comes to actually sort of playing Dota as it has been at this tournament, their lineup's just so hard to utilize.
I mean, look at Yang. He's very tanky, but he's up versus 3. Gets doomed with a Death Ward. That's a dead Centaur this time.
I get the pick.
3 ultis for him, though. They just used all 3 of them to bring down that beefy Centaur.
That's to the 6k lead for VICI Gaming. Ori holding the top spot. This Shaman Fade, as was said by the panel, had such a good game last game, and this game just continuing to be such a playmaker.
Yeah, he's been having he's been beasting it. About to have Blink Dagger finished up, level 12 too.
I have, and good luck not getting hexed then.
Yeah, not getting double hex too. I mean, we've seen DY. He doesn't care about if he dies. He's just gonna run in and try to get that soul bind off for the teammates to get their double ultimates or double grabs or whatever it be off.
Yeah, they've somehow got to get on top of him, stop him from being able to get all his spells off. But it's so hard with their lineup.
Yeah, they have the front line, and they have ways to kite.
Yeah.
They have Stampede. Centaur being one of the best units, best heroes in the game to be able to just disengage or re-engage depending on how you assess the situation. Paparazzi now has BKB finished. Although he's had a little bit of a struggle in the game, he's still 3-2 and 5 and still top 3 net worth.
And this is the power of VICI Gaming with their lineup. They just 5-man smoke. Whoever they find, they're gonna die. They're gonna get the kill.
I mean, sure, Old Chicken level 15 caught up very well on this Drow Ranger, but anybody who gets grabbed is pretty much instantly dead, and there's no doom for 50 seconds.
VICI Gaming is looking semi-prepared, grouped up as 4, but now walk into the fight. Dark tries to go for a malady, doesn't hit anyone. Yang charges past, goes for the Who Stomp. Serpent Ward's dropped down as well by Fade. Yi will look towards Fade. He has the Crimson Guard buff, won't be enough to save him. They do kill the Shaman, but they've lost 2 in the jungle as it's a double kill for Paparazzi. Yang is moving in. Can he cancel any TPs? He can. Old 11 caught out by the Who Stomp. He's not getting out of it. He'll try and run away, but an Assassinate is in. All he can do is sort of hide and hope that they do not find him. He's going to try his best to duke him out, but he's getting pinged. They know exactly where he is. We're going to shackle out, but it's not enough to do anything in response to this move from VICI Gaming as they get another. Losing Fade, but taking so much from Keen Gaming.
Him and Kaka both ported to the Shrine. They're both trying to do the efficiency play so they can keep playing on the map, but longer TP for Old 11, and it actually causes him to die because of it. That would have started to go down a little bit, though, off of that one. Even though VICI were able to get so many kills. The bounty runes did go for Keen. But we're continuing to see these team fights are just so impossible for Keen. They just get jumped on every single time. I think Fade got the initiation that time again. He got the Blink Hex on the puck right before the fight started, and from then on, it's like, oh my god, Keen just has to full disengage because they don't have their Doom available. If they have Doom, maybe they can try to look for something in, but even then, it's still just way too much team fight from VICI.
VICI's got the blink on Yang too as well, so another method of getting in.
And a BKB finished up on the sniper now too, so yeah, lots of different tools, and they can look to just take another fight immediately right after this.
Kaka's also got his blink on the Doom.
Okay.
So they can, at least instantly sort of take someone out of the fight. Kaka does get a successful jump in. They're going to try and do something big with that reveal. They're smoked up as 4. All ults available on Keen Gaming's lineup.
They have to get something big out of it, but they're playing into double BKBs, and Yang is the only one really showing his face. He's kind of asking for it.
He's not the one they want to go at all. They want to try and get someone else behind him. But the positioning from VICI Gaming is making it very hard for Keen to find that opening.
And now it's their turn to smoke up and try to look for a fight directly at them, but they actually don't have a smoke on them at the moment. They kind of grouped up like they were looking for it, but... How's the BKB looking for Old Chick? He's still quite a ways away, so he just gets collapsed on so easily for this Drow Ranger is still the problem. And they still, their front line is it's Kaka, and he's not very tanky still. Sure, 1600 HP with that 17 armor, but that's not really where you want to be at this point versus this high damage lineup of VICI. As he is, like I said, the only tanky one.
So they can catch any of them up top. Old 11, Wind Run, he's into the trees, trying for the TP out, but Fade's found him with Yang. They'll catch the Wind Ranger. Old 11 caught out once again after having such a good start. He has now died many times in a row. As they keep hunting him down, keep catching him. So much disable. 1 hex and he's gone.
They're trying to get the split push going though. Puck immediately goes bottom, pushes out. We see also mid lane, Kaka starts pushing. I believe they popped Drower actually earlier than that all happened. And Old Chicken just continue to the Ancients, trying to get an item so that he can actually protect himself. Really needs BKB for those disables. But now, VICI off that pick off, they can easily just go for a Roche.
Keen at least able to find something in trade. In fact, Yang has TP'd in. Notice that Yi is still around, tries for the blind blink who stop, but will not catch him. They will get Dark though. Dark around the shrine. Fade also coming over just in case they could find Yi, but Yi's out of there. Still now, VICI Gaming, they can push with this Aegis. Look to take the final 2 outer towers off the map away from Keen. There's still that tier 1 and the tier 2 for the taking down bottom.
Man, Dark's trying so hard to win the vision game for his team. Look at all the... He's done this the whole game too, and multiple games that I've seen King play is just the overabundance of sentry wards to try to come back and control areas, but still not quite able to versus... Jeez. He did get rid of all the wards though, except for that one that's in the top side. But VICI, looking at their stance, they're still feeling super confident, especially with this Aegis. He will be able to quickly blink away.
King Gaming's best interest just to avoid them at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe see if they can get the tier 1 tower up top or on the middle lane. It's hard though. VICI Gaming keeping both the middle and the bottom heavily pushed out. There's the BKB now for the Drow. So finally we might be able to see King Gaming take a fight with their Drow.
This is a tough place to fight though. VICI has claimed this area for a while now. You have to imagine they have sentries and wards everywhere. So do they go for a super long wraparound? Because walking up this hill could be suicide.
It's very risky already. The smoke dispels on Dark. They know that there's trouble up here. Instant D-ward as well. King Gaming well aware that VICI Gaming are around this area. And with that information, they're not going to even try and head over here. They're going to just look to secure the top 2 bounty runes.
I think it's like way too tough when you know that VICI's been set up. You know they're going to have wards all over the place and you're walking blindly into a high ground. Into an Aegis too.
This is not an area of the map that VICI Gaming can go.
Keen, we will see Yi now start to cut the bottom wave a little bit here. It is a catapult wave though, so that one siege creep will continue to push forward through, but we'll cut the next one as well. They pop their Drower as well, so you see them, they're trying to push the lanes out, trying to push out the side lanes in response rather than actually taking the fight down bottom, but they've got Serpent Wards. VICI's gonna threaten.
Straight up to the high ground, and here we go, King Gaming. What's going to be the play against this? What's their answer?
And they get to the back lines. Ori's just being snipered.
He's straight in. Jump away with a who stomp. He's immediately on top of the Drow. There's no buyback. EA went in on the BKB budgets. They'll lose the Witch Doctor. Dark does have the buyback. But Yang just able to walk in, blink on top of the Drow, and Old Chicken's gone. So direct. Yang again, he's nearly getting another jump onto Dark. Dark will be able to cancel the who stomp with a paralyzing cast. But VICI Gaming just able to walk in and get a set of racks.
Just like that.
A mistake there from the Drow. Placement not great from Old Chicken. Doesn't have money for buyback. And certainly there are racks up now. The lead was already there, of course, for VICI Gaming, but now it's even greater.
If you get caught by one disable without that BKB, so much damage can come out. There's just way too much burst from VICI, and that was kind of a freebie for them.
I don't think, VICI Gaming expected the siege to be as easy as that was. Yang making it look very simple.
He just feels so, he feels so free, right? As the Centaur, he's so tanky. He doesn't have to worry about anyone. Like, they don't have to worry about the other frontliner. That's what we keep reiterating over and over again is Keen. Their fight, how do they start the fight? The puck has to pretty much just blindly go in and start the fight, but they don't really have the team fight to back it up, as we were talking about too. VICI just has, they have their bases covered. And they even got defensive items now too. We have DY has a full Glimmer, Fade after that Blink, and that Aether has a Force Staff. While we look at Keen, Dark of course is going to be poor on the Witch Doctor because he's buying all the wards, but Kaka has to go for Blink. He has to go for these other plays. They can't actually have any defensive items to try to save their Drow. The Drow is the one with the defensive capabilities with the Hurricane Pike.
We see here as well how good of a game Yang is having.
Yeah.
Started off with that top lane where they were absolutely beasting it.
They have Serpent Wards up again in 4 seconds, and they still have their Aegis. They're keeping this one ranged creep alive up top right now.
The MKB on Ori, they have all the punching power required to take the sort of fight and break into that high ground.
They have mid pushing in now as well, so they have an extra creep wave. Yang's actually just looking to hunt. The scan was successful. Picks up a full pipe now, and they're just going to go. They're just going to go onto that high ground soon.
And Dagon is there on Yi, but against this pipe aura and these tanky heroes, it's not going to do a whole lot unless he can find Ori. But even then, with the BKB, Ori's going to be quick to respond.
I mean, Ori's just had, he's had a really free time in this game. He's 6-0 and 10, but it doesn't feel like he's been super involved. He's been getting the cleanup kills from his team. He's just been getting the Assassin HT to clean up or just sitting in the back and peeping away. And He's got a full MKB. He's going to be hurting so much. And
there's the
they
jump
catch
again.
Yi.
Instantly in with the Who Stomp. They find that puck. The initiation, the jumps from VICI Gaming, they're getting away with it every single time. Response is just not quick enough from Keen Gaming, and they don't have the heroes to withstand this sort of aggression.
They're going for the wraparound here. They're trying to find Ori. He's gone.
What are they gonna do? But again, the Hex is out. Kaka, he's got a blade mail, but he just gets melted. That's a dead Doom, a dead Wind Ranger, and a dead Witch Doctor. No buybacks available on either Kaka or Dark. As VICI Gaming up to the high ground, another tier 3 tower taken. The mid-racks exposed. There was a buyback from Yi and Old 11, but trying to defend just 3 versus 5, they have to be so careful about doing so. Any sort of jump from either Yang or Fade is just an instant kill for VICI Gaming.
They were waiting for Ori to heal up. He backed up and actually life stole off some jungle creeps for now. He's back to full health after being doomed. 11's trying to get a wraparound here.
He's going to have to put the BKB and run himself away. It's Paparazzi already with the static link. It's going to shut down any potential that Old 11 has in the mid. Again, Old Chicken just gets collapsed upon.
No BKB.
He's getting jumped every single time. He does at least have the money for the buyback, and fortification is there. 15 seconds and Key Game will have the full lineup back up. Yi jumps in, 3-man Dream Coil. Do they have the follow-up? The Crimson Guard pop. Kaka's just trying to walk into the midst of it all with the blade mail. Fade falling low, but they've lost Old 11. The Wind Ranger's dead. Kaka's gone as well. Old Chicken pots the BKB, tries to go for the silence, but he's doing no damage at all. The Crimson Guard buff, keeping the Razor fine and safe to allow him to dive in. Paparazzi's BKB's back up. The Sniper's dead. They're all dying. Dark's gone. They'll find the whole team. GG is called. VICI Gaming take game 2 and take the series. Once again, a very, very dominant showing from them. They just seem to have Keen Gaming's number. Keen Gaming tried something a little different in this game with the Wind Ranger. Was pretty good in the lane, but from that point onwards, it was entirely VICI Gaming's control.
I mean, Fade just ran around and made play everywhere. That top lane, Fade and Yang just completely blew this game open. Got, Arcane Boots at the, pre-5 minute mark, gets level 6 pre-10 minutes. The first move from the puck gets completely halted because Shadow Shaman's already level 6. They just drop Serpent Wards and stop all the aggression. It was a clean game from VICI, a clean series.
It really was. As you say, just Fade, just bringing it out here on the main stage, showing us what he can do. So many plays and setups beginning because of him. Yang as well, stepping it up. He had a bit of a rocky series the other day, of course, on his profit, but coming in today, giving us 2 very solid performances on the off lane, which made it, in that game as well, Keen, as I say, they tried something a little different. It was still a Drow sort of Orator effect, but they didn't have any way to sort of get in on the fights. Nobody could afford being jumped on as they were. They just died.
They had some tough initiation. Yang got the perfect game, and it really did feel like a perfect Centaur game. He could literally just run rampant inside of it and just charge